Hello. Okay, this is a Floodgate match from probably about a week or two ago, and I'm still not getting to play so much as I'd like to. I did get to play Paramount yesterday and today, and I might save one of the matches from maybe yesterday, but it's pretty similar to this one actually. And I'm still having to work some pretty late hours this week. Next week I might be able to play some more during the week. That'll be nice. I really like playing during the week when I can. As it is right now, I've pretty much, last couple of weeks, I've pretty much only been able to play Monday or Friday and Saturdays, kinda.
I've got the orb.
Yeah, I can see we're a man down here on this match. I like that. It's nice when you can win when you're a man down like that, although there's more to... I believe that is Geronimo, yeah. Geronimo likes to snipe, and he also likes to get into the stealth bender once in a while, and he will put the stealth bender in that little underpass there, or in some strategic position, or drive it up to the core and try to intercept the orb carrier, because the orb carrier has to leave from that area. So you'll get a few canny players that will try to intercept the orb player before you can get out of the base, you know, which is pretty effective. You know, when you run into that kind of thing, that you're going to have trouble, because the orb is very important. I didn't go back for it again. I decided to switch up and try something else. I mean, this vehicle here at the center is very important. With this vehicle, I like to establish a little bit of a pattern. Like, yeah. I was waiting for that orb to come in. Pretty good chance he might have capped anyway, but the enemy prime went down too late. I managed to shoot him down. When the enemy prime goes down, I'm in this vehicle. I usually you can take it up to the enemy prime, but it's a little hard to get into a position to hit anything from there, and it's pretty useful to drive it back here and take down this flood. So that way, you know, whatever happens with the enemy core, if any damage gets done with it, at least you buy another 60 seconds. You know, at worst, you buy another 60 seconds for your team to take that flood back. And by then, the enemy prime is usually has been taken back, so it's a good time to drive this thing back to center and cover the center node. Although this is kind of a tough sell because, you know, you're very vulnerable to those incoming Vipers from here. Okay, so the enemy prime's going down again, and there's 33 seconds left on the flood. Usually, since we've got the flood now, I can go back here and try to hold the flood with this vehicle, which we may do. I think Red's going to be
attack the enemy core.
Red's losing it. They're not covering the flood. I don't think their orb's going to even try to come in here. Their orb is probably going to try to. Yeah, it looks like they took their prime back. I don't know if they capped it with their orb, but their orb is not in evidence. But anyway, since the enemy prime's back down, well, I should have went back to the center, but I failed to resist the temptation to go after that guy on foot. Guys on foot are, you know, actually, if they're any good, they can usually shoot that vehicle down quite often.
Is vulnerable. Attack the enemy core.
We're dominating pretty much. We've had their prime down 3 or 4 times. I think they're going to make a little bit of an effort to come back. I think here, well,
Red core is under attack.
Yeah, that did put quite a dent in their core, and I took about 2 or 3 points off of it there myself. But now I got to go back, and I'm probably going to go back and work on the enemy prime a little bit. The flood there's ticking down, but I'm pretty much ignoring that. I mean, we've got him down to 44 points. You know, at this point, I'm like, well, our orb will probably get it, and if he doesn't, it's only 20 points. It looks like our orb's on the ground. I really hate watching that orb kind of creep along to where it's supposed to be going, and then suddenly it just sort of stops like that, and you're wondering, well, what the hell? And you know, you feel annoyed because you're like, you know, who was that person? Why did he fail? How dare he fail? Well, you know, they get shot at is what happens. You know, if you ever try to run the orb yourself, you find that it's not quite so easy. You know?
Blue core flooding.
It looks like, yeah, they did get their 20 points there, didn't they? And this is not a real good position. I should back up and get back into the, get back, because there's somebody in there shooting at it. I think it's going to be over with by the time I get in there, though. I'm kind of fumbling around here. I'm not driving. Yeah, they got the enemy prime down again. And there's 37 seconds left on a red flood, so I'm going to drive this back there and try to shoot down the flood again. But it's already down. And the enemy node's back up, so really I should drive back to the center again. And it looks like that's where I'm going.
Grab the Redeemer.
Yeah, they've managed to shoot down the center in the time that I drove back there. So I'm just racing back and forth, trying to get to where I can shoot good. Okay, well, I took that guy down. Looks like he's the only one here, so I'm not really seeing a whole lot of action. Now the flood's gone red again, but yeah, now there's a timer on it. Okay. Our orb is getting ready to cap again.
I'm on it.
Looks like he might do it. Maybe.
Oh, I'm on fire.
Nah, he failed. You know, when they sit there shoot, when you see them putting fire on the enemy prime and the orb hasn't capped like that, it makes me suspect that they're standing there with holding the orb and trying to shoot it down. And I always want to yell at them for that. Because my thing is, you know, I feel like, you know, when you get the chance, you should just cap.
Red core is secure.
That's my feeling. I don't think you should try to. I don't think you should try to sit there and hold the orb and shoot it down and then hold the thing with the orb. No, just cap it, because you know the thing is you're probably gonna die before you ever shoot that thing down. It's best, you know. Whereas if you just cap it, then at least you got the node and you can put a few points on the core. That's all. That's the way I always say. You know, cap while you got the chance. You know, don't bet on staying alive long enough to hold it with the orb. That's not going to work, except in this case here, because we've already got it shot down here, so I don't necessarily want to cap now. If you've already got the node shot down, yeah, it's not a big deal. You know, you can try to hold it a little bit. And now I want to try to cap the orb. I was going to try to hold the flood, but I'm a little bit slow about getting back there, so. Go back here and hold the prime for a few seconds, and then hopefully if I'm still alive, I'll try to cap that flood in about 10 or 20 seconds or so. But no, that didn't work out.
Red core is secure.
Yeah, now that probably wasn't really good planning, because now I'm looking at 29 seconds on the flood, and I don't have an orb to cap it with, so really all I can do is come in here and try to shoot it down a little bit, and I'll get interference. Luckily, somebody came in with a nuke there. That could have been trouble. So, you know, it's nice when you're part of a team and there's other people looking out too, you know, because even if you kind of drop the ball a little bit, somebody else might pick it up, and that's what happened there. Well, since that situation's taken care of, I'm going to go back here and try to deal with the center. But, you know, once again, things are happening before I get there. Somebody shot it down. Managed to steal a Viper, a red Viper that was sitting there. Yeah. Started getting a tow on, shooting the Viper. I don't think the Dark Walker got me. I think somebody got me with an Avril there. Yeah, it's looking a little one-sided, but red is going to make an attempt here. I shouldn't give you the impression that all the matches go this way either. I mean, I gotta say, you know, the last few days I've been playing, you know, I tend to try to join the weaker team, you know. Well, the thing about joining the weaker team is, you know, if you do that, you might as well get used to losing a lot, because, you know, it's not unusual for the weaker team to lose 10 or 20 matches in a row. That can get a little old, but that's what, you know, I feel like that's what you gotta do, you know. You gotta try to even up the teams as much as you can.
Attack the enemy prime node.
I have the orb.
Well, it's not real easy to do either, you know. I mean, you got numbers is one thing, and names is another thing. I think Barr the other day was saying like, well, the teams are even because look at the names, you know. And I made some snide comments to the effect of, well, if you just look at the names and ignore what they're doing, yeah, there's some logic to that, I suppose. But
Attack the floodgate.
you know, and yeah, it's a snide comment, but you know, I believe that because I've thought about that before. You know, because I sit here looking at the boards, you know, and I'm like, you know, the names on this board, I feel like this team ought to be doing better, but it doesn't work out that way necessarily. You know, it's the names are one thing, but you find that, you know, the way they're playing is it doesn't necessarily, you know, just because of who they are, it doesn't necessarily, they don't always necessarily play the way you'd expect that they would, you know. It's because it's more than just the individuals, who they are, you know. It's like how they're working together, you know. Are they cooperating, you know? And quite often, even if they are cooperating, you know, if your team has, well, there you go. Now they're starting to come back a little bit now. They've got that walker into the center, which is a tactic they like to do once in a while. Well, we're going to shoot him down. I think he looks pretty good. Yeah, he's down.
Attack the enemy prime.
Yeah, you find quite often, you know, even if you got quite a fair number of really good people on your team, if you've got one or two noobs on your team and the other team doesn't have any noobs, a lot of times that's all it takes. You know, one or two noobs on your team doing dumb things, you know. That may be all it takes to, you know, make you lose the game completely. It can happen that way.
Attack the enemy prime node.
Yeah, balance is hard to get, you know. It's very, you know, a difference of one man can make all the difference in the world. That's why it's nice to get on here on the occasions every once in a while when you've got nearly a full server. It doesn't happen as much. It's never been all that common, but when it happens, it's really nice, you know. That's. But you know, I like all the games, the crowded ones, the ones with only 6 or 8 people. They're all good.
Blue core is vulnerable.
Yeah, we just lost our prime. This is always interesting. I like, you know, I get to this situation, I'm like, well, do I go back and try to take the prime back, or do I sit here and hope that the prime comes back up and then I can do something with center, because I got the nuke. I mean, I can take the center down real quick. Well, I'm going to try to shoot down the prime, but that's a really tough shot to make. I usually don't make it, but the prime came back up, so I'm going to turn around and take out the center just like that. I don't get to fly at that route very often. I'm sure they were very surprised to see the nuke come in through that entry, but that's pretty much going to sew it up for us right now, because I'm really kind of being a distraction at this point. I don't really care about taking center. I don't really expect us to take center. The main thing is that we're getting ready to hold the flood for another 60 seconds here, and that's going to win the match for us. And I just want to make sure we don't lose our prime before that happens. Because that's the danger when you sit there and hold the node, when you sit there and hold the orb at the flood like that. If you lose the map while you're doing it, you could lose the match really quickly. Yeah, we lost a match like that the other day. I think War Region did that for us. He held the orb at the flood for 60 seconds, and while he was standing there holding the flood, we lost our prime and about 80 points off the core. And basically yelled at him for that, which was kind of a mean thing to do, but. You know, because he's a nice guy. These are all nice people. I shouldn't yell at him, but nah, I don't like that. Yeah, we're getting ready to. Yeah, we're 19 seconds away from winning here. I'm really just being a distraction right here. Yeah, but I really think that's a wrong thing to do. You know, you shouldn't take the orb to the flood and then sit there and build the flood and then sit there and try to hold it for 60 seconds with the orb. The orb's too important to have it sit still like, okay, that's it, we're done. Okay, heavy.